Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Rooster Teeth Podcast. This week brought to you by...
That professional reads the sponsors at the top of the show. Patrick, you don't have to remind him 15 times.
He reminded me once. He reminded me one time. I forgot once. I'm Gus.
Oh, I'm John.
I'm Morla.
I'm Burnie.
And I'm Gus.
Hi, Morla. Good to see you again.
Who's Morla?
I think the last time people saw you would have been on our E3 stream that we did for YouTube.
That's
at
right.
The Electronic Entertainment Expo, right? Those are the three.
Good enough.
E3,
Close
good
enough.
job.
What is it? Is that right?
I don't know.
Electronic Entertainment
From
Expo.
E3.
Yeah. So Morla was she was in town, so I thought, oh, it'd be great to have her join us on the podcast. Although we should preface this by saying Morla has to leave early. So she'll be out. She'll after what, the first
Flights
half hour?
and such.
Yeah. The life of an actor.
Well, you
gotta
keep an
jump
eye on
a
the
plane.
time for me.
There it is right there.
Oh, there.
Don't trust me to do anything except for read Reddit on my laptop. That's all I can do.
I'm really glad that you're here, Morla.
Thank you. I'm really
Especially
glad to be
because
here.
I got screwed over by someone in this company.
Oh boy, this is
What happened?
And I'm putting them on blast.
Oh.
Is it anybody on the set right now?
No.
So I came in and
Okay,
said, hey,
good.
Morla,
Let's tell the story.
Sorry,
I
didn't
said,
mean to.
Morla's here. How does she sit in on the first part of the podcast? And Gus, who's normally a curmudgeon and does not deal with change well, said, that would be lovely. I'm paraphrasing here. He said, that would be lovely because we only have 3 people on the podcast tonight because...
Put him on blast.
Chris Damaris fucked me over.
Oh boy, here we go.
He scheduled a meeting and invited every single person who's on the podcast.
Not just a meeting, but a table read for a new script,
Yes.
which everyone, of course, wants to go to.
He invited everyone here. He invited Patrick as well.
Why do you say that? Patrick, you just got like the head shake, like the disbelieving.
He just found out that
okay.
they're still inviting people like right now. Do
Yeah.
you know
Wait, I
that
just got
Patrick's going to be here?
invited.
You know
Yeah.
I'm going to be here.
I literally got
What
an alert right
a
then.
fucking terrible time to schedule it. That was like he had sent me the invite, and he sent me the invite last Monday right after he got off the podcast, and I wrote, "Listen, I can't make it doing the podcast." He's like, "Okay, don't worry about it." And then I started trying to figure out who's going to be here on Monday. I couldn't find a single person.
Yeah, I should be there for it as well, but I got the invite, and I was like, I can't. I gotta go for the podcast if I'm in town. That's what I do on Monday nights.
Right.
That's my job.
It's your
I
job.
mean, what I can do, a brand new feature-length script, or am I going to attend podcast number 460 billion? What is this one? What are we on?
God, what is it? Like 455 maybe? I don't know.
But this will be an eventful one. People will come back to this one on a regular basis. So I do feel a little bit bad about missing it. I
wanted to do it. I wanted
luckily,
to go.
though, somebody else was totally available. John was totally available. I know.
John was available.
When was that? Why was that? What?
You were not invited to this thing?
I got invited today.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
After
I don't
the
think
podcast?
Live Action likes me.
What? Go ahead.
I don't think they really like me very much. I'm kind of the last on their list of any like invited to do anything with them or like to try out for any of their projects or anything like that. I think I've like spurned, other than MDB, which Blaine was nice enough after 3 seasons to invite me. I don't think any of them like me.
So more.
Today's
You need a-
460,
You need a
460, by the
platypus,
way.
I think.
What's that?
460.
460.
Yeah.
All right. I'm trying to think of like how somebody can make a joke out of that number.
It makes
No
no
idea. So
Wait, one more. No, there
You know
it
it
is.
doesn't talk out of its mouth, right?
Is talk out of anus?
He's putting the mouth up to the microphone like the sound comes out from there.
That's
the
where
way-
the noise comes from.
noise
okay?
comes from the center
That's
that
where
you
some
squeeze.
noises
I know,
come
but that's
from.
normal
It's not
thing.
where all noises come
Shut
from.
up.
that's the way a platypi works. So Morla, I'm going to let you
Yes.
in a little behind the scenes of our company here. There's a lot of inclusion issues for people at the company.
I'm sensing this. I'm getting a sense of this.
Is that a performer thing? Do you think like for people who work
Wait.
in
Are
arts
you
and
suggesting
entertainment?
that performers might have like low self-esteem and trust issues and be trying to vie for attention constantly?
You're a couple steps ahead of me, but I was headed in that direction, I believe.
That's
Yeah.
not true, right?
You want me to speak for all actors? No, the ones
Please
do.
This will go on the permanent
No, we're
record.
completely well-adjusted people who are totally fine with all kinds of scenarios all the time.
Did the SAG strike with video game companies, did that affect you in what you do? Because you've been in a number of different video game franchises as a voice actor.
I think everyone who works in video games, everyone who voices video games was affected by it. There was just, it just wasn't happening.
Right.
So
That's how strikes work.
Yeah, that is. I wasn't sure before, and I'm like, I can still work on them. No?
No?
Oh,
Oh,
man.
oh, so
I thought it was
how it
3
works now.
strikes,
Yeah.
then I'm out of a job. I thought that's the way that works.
Nice.
But
Yeah,
it's
but-
over. It's
No,
over.
But I really,
Yeah.
it is, and there's,
is.
they have a compromise in place.
Yes.
I know from experience how unbelievably stubborn the video game industry is when it comes to things like, honestly, like working conditions and pay and things like that. So I was surprised that there was any kind of compromise. I also know how long video games stay in development, and I thought, if a video game they can punt a performance a year you know, and strikes don't typically last that long. But a video game development, they can say, okay, we'll just bring you in January of 2018, you know, or June of 2018. Our game will still be in development at that point in time, and we can do the voice work then.
I
Right.
know.
It just depends on where the strike was happening and what part of the development cycle you're in. Because
Right.
if you're at the very end, because with audio is at the very end, and then VO is at the end of audio. So if you're there while the strike was going on, that was
Then you got
really
problems.
not great.
I wonder if SAG knew that and they could time that with like some really big companies in their dev cycle.
I wonder.
Well, also there's some games that do come out literally every year, so they're always going to be in some stage of that cycle.
True.
Yeah.
I think there's a
And
really
usually it's like different developers that are like for some franchises they have like one big franchise, but then they have different developers working at a different time.
Mhm.
So
So you say you do audio at the end. I'm kind
Yes.
of down a rabbit hole with voiceover now, or voice acting. I got lectured isn't the right word, but I was corrected.
set straight.
I got to do an interview with Andy Serkis.
Oh.
And I referred to what he does as motion capture. And he very politely, but very deliberately told me it's not called motion capture. It's called performance
Performance
capture.
capture.
Because it's not, we're not just capturing motion, we're capturing performance.
Yes.
Which when you see War for the Planet of the Apes, you get it. I mean, it's like you can see him through the performance of Caesar in that. But,
PCAP.
what's that?
PCAP.
Is that what it's called? PCAP?
PCAP.
I've literally never
PCAP
heard that
and
term.
mocap? Oh,
PCAP
like
and
we're
mocap.
learning.
PCAP and mocap.
educational.
Well, mocap's the old version.
That's like the
Right.
star. The more you
PCAP
know.
is just doesn't have as much like niceness about it. Mocap. That,
PCAP.
PCAP.
Yeah.
PCAP.
Yeah.
It's like
doing
after the
PCAP.
shoot, you stick around and do the
Yeah.
PCAP afterwards, that kind of thing. But the voice acting that you do, so they don't bring you in at the beginning and like lay down a temp track or anything like that. When you get
That can happen.
Okay.
It depends. I mean, different studios do different things. Like it's some studios they have the whole they bring in actors to do like your vertical slice and to do table read and to do.
Now let's say there's someone out there who doesn't know what a vertical slice is.
Let-
I'm not saying
not-
anybody
not saying
here-
anyone here would.
I'm not saying anybody here
But
doesn't
for
know
the
what that
sake
is.
of our audience.
But you know what? I'm
So,
just thinking of
all
the
right.
audience, and I'm curious. What's a
what
vertical
do-
slice?
So
hypothetically.
hypothetically, let's see if I can explain it well and concisely.
Gus, you explain it. What's the vertical slice?
It's essentially a portion of the game that's made for demonstration purposes.
Yeah.
So like something you
a
see
little,
at
a
E3.
little element of
Like
everything.
when they unveil Watch Dogs playable at E3 in a demo, that's a vertical slice. It's not the final game.
Right.
It's like a target.
By the way, that totally backfired on me. That's like a little improv game we play when I think no one knows anything. I make someone else explain it. I fully expected a bullshit answer. If that was a bullshit
No,
answer,
that's
that
totally
was
good.
really well
That's
done.
good.
Hey,
That's good.
Work
Yeah.
in the video game industry.
It's like taking it's just taking a slice of the game, like a complete part, not the whole game, but just like a complete part of one section of the game, so that they get a good understanding of what it will actually be like.
Okay.
Listen to the franchises that Morla has worked with. She's worked with Crackdown,
Yes.
BioShock,
Yes.
Resistance.
Wait, what'd you do with BioShock? Sorry.
Lots of voices.
Yeah?
Like holotapes and things.
I love
yeah.
it. I love
BioShock 2. Yeah.
She was in Call of Duty. She was Battery in Call of Duty.
That's right. Get your shit together.
She worked at Star Wars. You were in Star Wars: The Old Republic,
Yes.
Halo Wars 2, Hornet.
Yes.
You were in the Guardians of the Galaxy TV series.
Yes. That was one of the things that when we were talking about, I was like, I have lots of things to talk about and I can't talk about it yet.
And that was one of them?
That was one of them. So I'm Zeron the Destroyer in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Well, it's on IMDb now, so everybody knows it. And then I think I have a feeling for our audience, they would best know her as the voice of Eris Morn from Destiny: The Taken King, specifically, but Destiny 1, essentially.
Yes,
Eris.
the Dark Below and the Taken King.
Yes.
Right. And as I was telling you earlier, like the voices of the Hive and
Did you know this?
Omnigul.
No.
John?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, she
Yes.
did Omnigul, the thing that screams at you constantly
Yes.
when you go to kill it. She played that.
Here.
That's scary. Don't do that.
She was doing it in the car earlier.
I was.
No.
And I was
It's like we'll be through traffic
Like,
soon.
we
It's
we
okay.
did get in a car accident. It was
I immediately want to do what I normally do when I hear that noise, is go hide in that hallway on the side and let everyone else fucking fight that thing. God. I was watching Ashley play Cuphead. Have you played that yet, John?
Yeah.
So I do have a problem. I just uninstalled Prey. For this reason, I want to get too much into reviewing games
I
here.
saw you playing it this weekend.
I was just trying to finish it. So I went to easy. And one of my biggest complaints about any kind of shooter is games that leave you ammo poor and every enemy is a bullet sponge.
Yeah.
And I put Prey on easy.
Yeah, Prey is that.
everything was and easy. Everything was a sponge. I was like, forget it. So anyway, so I got rid of it. But Cuphead is like, it's like a game of boss battles. Have you seen Cuphead?
I saw it at E3.
Dude,
yeah.
that aesthetic is so cool.
I think the music's great. in that
Yeah.
game. It's really good.
Yeah, she's in the next room playing it, and I can hear it constantly, and I'm not complaining at all.
But it is infuriating.
It's
Fun
to play it.
Very fun, but infuriating.
I had that experience with it over the weekend where I was playing it, and on Friday there was like 2 or 3 bosses I just could not beat, and I got really frustrated. Put it down. Woke up Saturday morning. I was like, all right, I'm gonna try again, and beat them all on my first
Dude,
try.
that is the way to do stuff like that. Is if you keep grinding at something, you'll never make any headway. But if you just step away for a little bit and then come back, you come back fresh, and it's great.
Yeah, it was easy. I was like, why the fuck was this hard last night?
Right. Yep.
I saw that someone played it and like had 0 damage. They got through the whole game with 0 damage.
Wow.
Yeah.
Not me. That was not me.
No way. No way.
That-
No, it's impossible. Alfredo was
That's-
Alfredo. He did it.
Alfredo's nuts.
We had a fun moment. I went in to introduce her to the Achievement Hunter guys because they play a lot of Destiny. I thought it'd be fun if she did like a guest thing on it and
Yeah.
played some Destiny with them. And I don't want to give away anything. I don't want to make any spoilers. But we walked in at the end of a Battlegrounds match
Oh, a PUBG
in
one.
which they made it to the top 10, basically.
Yeah.
They had that moment like
Jeremy was telling me about that.
it's just, and she got to experience, I don't know if you've ever seen people play Battlegrounds before, got to experience all that like crazy yelling excitement of
Yeah,
that
it was
moment.
great.
And it either ends with a super high or a super low, you
Yeah.
know, that moment that always happens.
It was like the perfect moment to walk in. It was like you could
Yeah.
hear it outside the door.
There, go, where? Behind you. What behind me? What's behind me? I've been spinning in a circle.
God, the game's so good.
Yeah, it is tough. Teddy has a rule. Teddy's my 12-year-old. He has a rule that's like, I'll play PUBG with you, but you can't be serious about it.
We played together over the weekend, and you were pretty good.
Yeah, I did okay.
And as far as like not being too serious or like being,
Yeah.
and-
Does he drink energy drinks yet?
Teddy? No, he got in the store the other day. He
No, I
got.
meant like in the game. You said in the game.
Oh no, he
previously you said-
refuses still.
Yeah.
He's just stubborn about it.
excuse me.
Yeah, energy drinks are how you like get a little bit of health. And it's like you can only bandage up so far, and then you have to drink an energy drink. And he won't do it in the game.
Why?
Because he thinks they're like alcoholic or something. He thinks they're adult things, and he won't do it.
Oh, that's
It's like,
sweet though.
So
Yeah,
wait,
but then he
wait,
runs into a house with
Well, what about the
shotguns every
pain?
time.
That's what
The
you're saying.
painkillers.
He'll take the drugs, not the alcohol.
What drugs does he take?
Painkillers.
Does he get the adrenaline syringe?
He doesn't take any boosts. No,
He doesn't do any of the
He drives
consumables.
he drives me crazy. Yeah. It's like, Teddy, you just like, you're at 75% health. Just drink an energy drink. He's like, nah, not doing it.
Straight edge.
Yeah. But one of the things that's great about
He's
having
a straight edge
He's a
PUBG.
straight edge- that's our clan. We're a straight edge clan. But he'll do this thing where like I just say, go in that house and clear that house
Yeah.
out. And it works like 75% of the time. He just runs in the house, boom, 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 with a shotgun and runs through the thing and clears everybody out while we shoot the windows. Works pretty well. But then when he loses, he gets so frustrated.
Is that why he said don't play it serious?
Yeah, well, he does. He takes loss like super personal. You
Yeah.
know, he's just at that age where,
Yeah.
you know, winning and losing is tough. And Rainbow Six Siege is another game we play that he just like, when he gets killed, he's like, you know, you go on that stage where everything is BS.
Yeah.
It's like, where was that guy? No way he shot me through a wall. You know, things like that. It's
Yeah.
just like, what are you going to do?
That's too funny to hear that coming out of like your 12-year-old.
It is. But he doesn't say BS. He just like, you can tell in his tone. He says such a BS tone. He's like, what? That's,
He's getting there. He'll get there soon.
Chill out. Just tell him to chill out.
Yeah.
Relax.
That's always good to do after PUBG. It'd be good to like have like a companion game you could make where it's like yoga simulation or something where it's just like you relax afterwards. It's like,
feel like
chill out.
That's what the
Yeah,
parachuting part is. Like that's
Just the wind going by.
Yeah, a little moment is zen. Yeah. And Lindsay put it really well. We were talking with Lindsay. She was in the Achievement Hunter office when they were recording. And, you know, she talked about how if you're in PUBG and you have that moment where you're like searching and you're looking for stuff, she goes, then you feel like you're doing something wrong when you
Yeah.
don't see anybody for a while. And then you're like, I'm going to, and then sure enough, that always happens to me is I'll do that. And all of a sudden I'll hear, phew, like a bullet zipping
Yeah.
by. I'm like, what was that?
I'm just not realizing with you here, PUBG has 0 VO in it. There's not a single voice in it.
There's
fix
like
that.
grunting when you get
Is
hit.
there?
Yeah, I think so.
I
Is
don't.
there?
I can't even recall.
I don't know if that's, I think you might be right.
There's not like when you get hit or something.
I don't think so.
I know there's like the
Like we get hit with a pan, it just goes dang, you know.
huh.
That game has that game.
That
that game
was
is,
my
That's some
onomatopoeia.
good sound design right
It's
there.
like I get it, it goes dang.
Dang. Nice. It's very southern of you.
Yeah. So I found out today that Morla also works in sound design as well. She
Yes.
does sound design for different projects that she works on additionally too. I don't know if you can talk too much about that.
I can say what it. Yeah, I've
She sent
been
me
the
a sound
voice-
file that's going to haunt my dreams, basically.
So like doing the editing and that kind of thing.
No, well, like I create the sounds.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so Foley work kind of thing.
Yeah, but
Like the
just
design of
vocally.
like the feel. Like
So I was the
I'll stop
conceptu-
talking, you can tell
it's
me
like
what you do.
conceptual sound design.
Yes,
I don't know.
Keep
You
going,
said
keep
I'm not- do you do platypus sounds? Okay, good.
There you go. Exactly.
I figured it out.
Like
Thank you
our
very
version
much.
of that is we see a platypus and one of our animators goes
Dang.
whack or dang, dang, for the band.
We should make a custom one of a kind one that just goes dang.
Just the one
Dang.
defective one that you can get.
Here's our hope now. Somebody will cut together a montage of pan hits with just us saying dang.
Dang.
If only you could get mods for PUBG and get like a dang pack.
The
Dang.
Nice. And all sorts of different ways. I like it.
It's got a nice hollow sound to it too. Sometimes it goes dunk. Sometimes makes that noise.
If you hit the right spot on the pan.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a great item. It's it's become, in video game development you can try to make things that the audience is going to enjoy, but inevitably I think also developers tend to make things that they don't realize the audience is going to latch onto.
Yeah.
Like for us with Halo is like we were making movies in it. That's not at all I didn't think what Bungie had in mind when they made this first person shooter game. And then suddenly everybody's making movies based on Halo, and then sure enough in Halo 3, they had a full theater mode and everything else. So they really embraced it. And for Battlegrounds, they have melee weapons. You can have a pistol, you can have a gun.
Pistol's not a melee weapon.
No, I'm saying all the things you can
he's
have.
listing all the stuff.
You said you have a
Melee-
pistol and a gun.
What? He said you have a melee weapon, you have a
Melee
pistol,
weapon,
you have a gun.
pistol,
Okay.
gun.
There's commas in
Okay.
there.
Not
It's a list.
Not melee weapon.
Continue.
Somebody's mad about not
Colon.
being invited
Yeah,
to the
pistol,
region.
gun.
I got invited eventually.
But anyway, one of the melee weapons you can get is a pan and a
Steal it.
pistol. And sorry, John, I'm fucking you this one. You get a pan, and the pan, it just weirdly turns out, also works as the best armor in the game. So when you have it on your back right here, if anybody shoots you there, occasionally you see like bullets dinging off the pan.
Have you ever seen the compilation videos where someone uses it to like swat at bullets?
Yeah.
Nuts. That's
What world are
nuts.
we living in where a game can do that?
That's good.
Like it actually, there's a bullet that travels through the air,
Yeah.
and you can swat it out of the air with
Yeah.
a pan. That's crazy.
It's insanity.
Did we ever talk about the YouTuber that died? No, I shouldn't say YouTuber. The aspiring YouTuber that died.
I
What?
think we mentioned it. I don't. Did we ever bring the phone book one? Right?
It's just a book. I don't even know that it was a phone book.
I think it was a phone book.
What do you do?
He had his girlfriend shoot him in the chest, and he
Oh.
held a book in front of his
It's
chest.
a Desert Eagle.
I remember
a 50
that.
caliber Desert Eagle, right?
Yeah.
Like that goes through houses.
No.
Yeah, and he
No.
died, and they were going to do it for a YouTube video, and
To what benefit?
to be, more followers, John, like and
No.
subscribe. They would get invited to the script reading for Chris's
Stop
new
it.
thing.
I got invited. Okay? I got invited.
The
I did. Don't look at me like that.
I want to look up that stupid fucking invite and see how many people are on it.
God, you're so
Probably
mad
inside.
about it.
So
Probably
mad
inside
about it.
company.
There's so participants. That's 28, 35.
YouTube, by the way, when I looked it up on Google, it
54
comes up
people.
as book shooting gone wrong. What's the right version of that video? What's the everything went fine?
He invited 54 people to that.
That seems like too many.
That's what, like 20% of the company.
Yeah, it is.
Here's all I imagine. It will still be going on when the podcast wraps tonight. Gus is going to get out of that chair. He's going to walk over to that thing. You're going to go right to the front row, and you're going to sit there the rest of the time like this.
No, I'm not going there. the invite even said whatever. I'm so mad at
You're so
Chris
upset.
Damaris.
I bet you are.
John, and Josh.
Are you mad at him because you can't have Chris on the podcast tonight? Is that what you're mad about?
No, he was on the podcast last week.
So that's enough, right? So he knew he wasn't coming back this week.
Yeah, you're
Sure.
upset that he knows how the podcast works and when it happens and still scheduled it this time.
Right.
And invited everybody you need.
Right.
Can we move
Right.
the podcast into the meeting right now?
Yeah.
That would
and
be
just, like,
interesting.
Be like,
We could live stream over there.
right.
We'd have to like
It'd be like, oh, well, we were invited, so we're just gonna do that and like
maybe.
take it over.
Or you
I
could
think
just
that's very
over.
difficult.
or you could just cut their power.
Oh, you got charged with manslaughter?
That's what that would be, right?
Yeah.
I guess, but if they're all willing participants, it's an accident that something went wrong. Like if somebody got killed on a movie set, you wouldn't charge anybody with manslaughter, would you?
Yeah, I think
Like
so.
if a driver, there was recently a driver who died in, what was that? Something they were just shooting?
Oh,
I think
that
it was Deadpool.
in
Was it Deadpool?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Where she was hurt, I think. It was a female stunt person that was hurt. Anyway,
But like normally,
clearly these are
like
not
in a
trained
movie,
professionals, but-
on a film set, you wouldn't have like a real weapon, right? Like what happened with The Crow with Brendan Lee,
Right.
right? Like it was just like
There has to be some sort of
was a prop.
negligence for it to be
Right.
manslaughter. Like, right?
Perez
Like,
faces
it's not just an accident.
Like you
an
know what you're
accident,
doing, like you have an
there's
intent.
some sort of reasonable amount of, if you would have done this easy enough thing to, like, know, like it should be common knowledge that
Right.
this would, even you didn't mean to,
Yeah.
the result should be obvious. I don't know. I'm making up
Patrick-
I'm making up things
Patrick
right
sent
now.
Yeah.
me the
I have no
definition.
idea.
That's the internet.
They call that modern jackass.
The crime of killing a human being without malice, forethought, or otherwise in circumstances not amounting to murder.
Oh, so yeah, accidents.
Yeah, murder is the legal term that means like premeditated and deliberate. I guess manslaughter makes sense, but it's the charge she faces up to 10 years in prison and fine of up to $20,000. If you lose 10 years of your life, the $20,000 fine is not like. Are you considering that? I mean, that's weird.
Wait, is that you can choose?
No, you can't choose. Yeah, you want 10 years just for 20
You
grand?
phrased it that way, as in like.
I said and a fine of up to $20,000
And-
So on top
On
of
top
losing
of it.
that much time in your life, that's
Also-
not.
and a melee weapon.
And a melee weapon. You just stop it.
You stop it. You're not understanding my lists today. My lists are getting lost in interpretation over there.
Punctuation is
you know
not
what?
is not translating well.
You got me riled up because of how you said hi to me before the podcast.
I
How
did.
did you
Oh,
say hi?
that was a fucked up thing to do.
Yeah.
What? That's not that fucked up.
What'd you do, Bernie?
Okay, so here. Let me take my chewed up gum off of my wallet here.
Stop it.
So I have a wallet here, and it's a fine leather wallet. I enjoy it. It serves me well. It's got a little gum on it. and I had my little leather wallet here, and I pulled it out of my pocket, and I'll do it towards the camera here. I just pulled it out of my pocket, and I threw it towards John's face, but when I threw it, I said, metal, and I threw it at his face like that. And so when he said the word metal, it just locked in his head that I was throwing a piece of metal.
Yeah, because
at
I
him.
was like, I wasn't fully like focused on your hand throwing some at me. In fact, you know what I was gonna do? I was gonna compliment your hat as you were walking up.
You're
I
going
was-
to compliment this hat?
I was getting ready to compliment your look, and I was looking at your head, and then you threw like some sort of dark object at me and yelled the word metal, and it went right at my head.
Panic, pure panic.
Why were you saying metal?
Because he's an
he-
asshole.
he
Like so metal.
No,
No, because
he
I
was-
want him to think it was a metal
He
thing.
knew that he was
Sorry.
triggering that part of my brain.
Right.
Right.
This is metal.
Totally intended.
Threw it.
Exactly. Okay.
Yeah.
Well.
And you should have been around because as a sound designer, you could have heard the sound of pure panic come out of John. I think it
Dang.
sounded like this. Gear. I was happy that it worked perfectly, though. It's like I didn't plan it or anything. I just walked up and said metal.
You were making fun of me screaming we were playing PUBG this weekend because at one point we were approaching another team and that was in a building, and we were actively firing on them, and at one point my game froze, but everything kept going on still.
Yeah.
And so there was the battles happening. So my guy was just still walking forward, and then so I was like literally just walking towards the gunfight, not in control. I couldn't see it, but I
Yeah.
could still hear you guys talking over Discord. And then when it came back, I was standing in front of a sedan from the game, Dacia, that just exploded in front of me.
Yeah.
So literally, I came back and there was an explosion in front of me, and I screamed, and you made fun of me for screaming.
You pretty
What
much
was the
screamed
sound
the whole
design
time.
for that?
I'm not doing that. Okay, we're not playing this game. I don't wanna play
Fun
anymore.
game.
Gus, how
I
are
like
you
it.
doing?
I actually like this.
Gus, can I tell you something?
Yeah.
So I play PUBG with John on a fairly regular basis. And then at this particular moment on this match, we were playing on his Twitch stream because John has a Twitch channel. What's your Twitch channel? You want to tell people?
It's twitch.tv. Go fuck yourself, Bernie.
Hey, come on, man. You have a chance for
It was an
promotion.
opportunity for promotion.
God, screwed that up.
Millions of people.
So, so John was streaming at that point in time
On
and-
twitch.tv/John Reisinger.
There it is. There it
John
is.
suddenly realizing the opportunity.
So,
I had to though.
how often do I throw that bone out
I
there?
don't know.
Ever?
But you do it right now, knowing I'm upset at you, and so you know that
Well, I'm
I
about to
do-
make fun of you
nice.
because I'm gonna say the
Fake
Twitch
nice.
John was far different than regular, casual PUBG John.
Yeah.
Like you were kind of like you had a different tone about you.
What's my tone?
I don't know how to say. I could tell you were broadcasting because you were just like you were a lot more talkative, obviously, because you're entertaining a lot of people that are watching. You
Yeah.
know, a few dozen people.
A few dozen.
I don't know how that works.
Maybe it doesn't.
So you obviously you were very vocal, and it was very different to me because I didn't know anything about the stream. I can't see the chat or anything like that.
I think actually,
Twitch installed. I don't know how it works.
Whenever I stream with like other friends or like people that I'm actually talking with, I actually don't think I get more chatty. I think what it was that
you get a lot more descriptive too.
maybe that's what it is. I don't know.
Yeah.
Your kids were also playing, and so I was having fun talking to them and messing around with them in the game.
I love watching them try to like figure out jokes and stuff like that. Like they try out material and whatnot.
Yeah.
I like that.
I like asking them if they're amazed that they get to wake up every morning with the world famous Burnie Burns.
And what was their answer?
Their answer was immediately no.
They couldn't care less.
That was Teddy. Teddy like immediately responded no.
I was recently had the opportunity to work with somebody that I admire greatly, and I would normally say who it was, but I don't want to say because of the story. And there was a marquee for the event, and they were there, and we were taking photos and everything like that. And this person's daughter was with them, and the photographer says, "Oh, get in here and take a photo with your parent." And the daughter goes, "No." Like, she was not having it. I was like, "Really?" It's like I think your dad. I think your dad is like the coolest thing on the planet, and you couldn't give a shit. You're just like, "Get the fuck out of here! No way."
That terrifies me.
Why not being
The-
cool?
Like, yeah, like
Yeah.
one day my son will be like, no,
Yeah.
no, I don't
You will
want
then
to.
stop
I don't
being
want to
cool.
hang out with you.
Yeah.
Right now I'm still cool,
Yep.
but he's 5, so
Yeah, I have a
Yeah.
7-year-old
It's
still
pretty
thinks I'm
easy.
cool as well.
Yeah, that window's closing. I was listening to different parents talk about dealing with their children here at Rooster Teeth the other day,
Yeah.
and one was like, "Yeah, my kid hates me." We ended our night on in an argument, and then another one who has a baby's like, "My baby smiled at me." It's like two totally different worlds.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, we all remember that. I mean, we all remember being teenagers and hating every moment of being at home.
Yeah.
So it comes to claim us all eventually. It happens.
My son asked me the other day. We were going, like we were walking around. I was holding his hand, and he says he's like, Mom, can you tell me what age I will no longer have to hold your hand when we're walking? I'm like, "Ugh, okay,
Again, right about now.
20.
I actually had almost the opposite moment this weekend of
Oh, thanks. Thanks.
no
Appreciate it.
I have a 4-year-old and she loves to hold my hand, and I hold her hand all the time, especially if we're in a crowded area, because she's this little thing that can disappear in a heartbeat.
Sure.
But this weekend, when I have my kids, I like to take them hiking. It gets us out of the house, and the weather was really nice this weekend, and Austin has a lot of great hiking places. So we went hiking, and we actually went long enough that we got pretty tired and hot and sweaty, and it was one of those moments that on the walk back, she went to like grab my hand, and I had to be like, "Sweetie, you're sweaty, and I'm sweaty, and I don't really want to touch any other human being right now." I had to explain that to a 4-year-old.
Yeah. Yep.
She was fine with it.
Oh, good.
She rolled.
She got it.
Yeah.
For now,
Yeah.
until like 10 years from now, I'll be like, I'm sweaty and
Yeah, I
gross.
know.
My daddy told me so.
I gave her a complex. That's all I think
Am
of.
I remembering right? Did you get poison ivy on one of your hikes?
I got like something like
Somebody
that
got
at one
something.
point.
It was you, right?
Yeah.
We were poison ivy. We were talking about poison ivy today because Morla, to get out of school,
tried.
rubbed herself with poison ivy and
That's-
thought she was immune to it because she
Right.
didn't get anything.
I didn't. I was like, up until this morning, I
Yeah.
actually thought, I'm like, oh, I can't get poison ivy until Burnie let me know that.
You to be allergic to something, you have to be exposed to it once, and then the next
And
time.
then the next
So
time.
The first time you were, so you
That's
wasted.
fantastic.
You wasted your first one.
You were
I-
doing a
I
freebie.
was like,
You got the gimme.
I'm like,
Can you imagine the lunacy of a kid rubbing themselves with poison ivy? If I came in and I saw my kid doing that, I'd be
Thanks.
what are you thinking?
that was me. That's me.
But don't you think about too, because you're a parent, so don't you think about some of the stuff you did as a kid? You think if my kid did that, I would choke them. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Like I boiled gasoline on my stove when I was a kid. I was trying to make napalm. I read about it on the internet, and
I like how you tried to explain away why you were boiling that.
I'm just
About how it's not-
I was
like
just trying to make
I think
napalm.
back to
Napalm.
myself doing that. I don't know how old I was, 12. I don't know, and I think back to me doing that and thinking, what a idiot.
Yeah.
What an idiot.
Yeah.
My mom came home and said the whole place smelled like a garage, like a mechanic's. It's like you could smell gas everywhere.
Yeah.
In the house. Oh, so stupid. If I found my kids doing that, I would just lock them. I would handcuff them and throw them in their room.
Yeah.
And never allow
No
them
more
to come
gas for
outside.
you. You've lost your gas privileges,
You've
mister.
lost every bit of freedom for doing that.
Here, let me read this thing right here.
You got
Okay.
it.
Wanna remind
Actually,
everyone-
Morla does have to go to the airport, so
Oh.
we have to say
Oh,
goodbye
look
to
at
Morla.
that. It's like right on time.
Perfectly
yeah.
on time. That's because you're a professional and you do your ad reads on time, buddy.
Yeah, this is actually a little late. I should have done it earlier.
Well, like, listen, how often do I throw you that bone?
I know.
Everyone's
I'm being honest.
On all my free
It's a little
promotion.
late.
Morla, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Good to see you as always.
This was fun.
All right. I want to remind everyone this episode of the Rooster Teeth Podcast is brought to you by. Thanks for sponsoring this episode of the podcast that Chris Damaris hates. I'm not letting that go. I'm not going to let him off the hook on that one. So it's just you and me, John.
It's just us. We've been abandoned by anybody else. On
I saw you playing PUBG the other day, and I thought about like texting you to see if I could join. I actually didn't play any PUBG this weekend.
You have never played PUBG with me outside of the office.
That is not true.
Oh,
I've
did we
played
play
with you
once?
before. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
On stream. I thought, like Burnie said, you're different when you're on
you
stream.
didn't talk.
Right.
You didn't talk.
Right. I didn't have. That's before. Like I would think I was in the Discord, and y'all gave me the wrong channel
Oh,
or
did we?
something. Yeah. Like I was in like with someone else, and
But
it
then
was
you got in and you didn't chat.
this whole
the entire
ordeal.
time.
Yeah. I think I was mad at that point. And you were like Bernie said, you're very chatty. It's like different playing with you when you're on stream versus playing.
I got told once that I have a salesman personality on occasion, which I think just means I have the capacity to be a loud, boisterous person. But it's not actually. I don't think that's not my default. Probably same with you. I would say like in describing you when you're off camera, it's got to be different than when
totally
you're on
different.
camera.
Yeah.
Like there's such thing as like turning it on for the camera and to be like, kind of thing. And then when, I'm at home playing video games, I just look like the same sad person.
Yeah. I would hate to have.
Furrowed brow at the screen just playing the game.
I would hate to be streaming and have like a look at my face. Like if, just
Yeah,
like
I
my
mean-
normal resting gaming face. Like,
I've talked with a.
so
I got to
dis-
record Ashley's at some point if she'll let me and post it. This is Ashley's gamer face. You can actually see it. She's like part of a meme for girl gamers.
That hair.
Back. I know, right? Look at this.
Look at that.
It's getting up there, isn't it?
glorious.
It's good.
Go back this way.
It's good. The hair is good.
Yeah, it's so much hair.
Oh, so
Bonk.
much hair.
No, I know, but mine's going up. Yours is going down.
Well, yeah, at one point it stops going up and it just.
That's what I'm hoping for eventually. Basically, John, I'm trying to beat you.
Thank you.
So Ashley makes this face, though, whenever she plays a game. I walk in, she's in the room. She's literally like this every time. It's like the angriest scrunch face. It's just like,
Well, there's like this. I never really understood it because I've always thought of like most like streamers have a face cam, and even Let's Players. A lot of Let's Players have a face cam, and
our guys use them now.
they do now,
Right? Yeah. They didn't
but
forever.
not every single game. Not every single game. Still only selected.
They started with the fear games.
Yeah, like
scary
they do
games.
Let's Watch, and that's a cam the entire time. And when they do like when Michael's done like the Crash Bandicoot series, they do that. But so I play games every once in a while with these guys from the ZF group, and there's
Fucking
these
brag about it.
YouTubers.
How was that?
I'm just telling about.
Somebody honked a horn.
No,
Why
it
are you
was-
so confused by it?
Why do we hear it? It was really loud.
It was pretty loud.
Sorry, John. I got really distracted.
It's okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Distractions happen. And I play with like Soviet Womble and Edberg and Cyanide, and these are all guys that have gotten pretty successful and are loved by their communities on streaming and even in YouTube. They don't do face cams. And when I first started playing with them, and that's just normal for me to be able to, like, I'm fine with showing my face. I mean, we show our faces in almost everything we make. And talking with them of, like, why don't you guys do a face cam? They says because they don't want to, especially I think it was Womble said he didn't want to have to think about what his face was doing while he's streaming. Like, he can't deal with that pressure of people seeing what he looks like while he's playing games.
Performing in game and performing for camera
like
as well.
visually
Right.
as well. And I don't
Yeah.
even think about that, but it was too much for him, and so he doesn't do it.
Yeah, I can
It must
totally
suck
see
to have
that.
to be a streamer who's good at games.
Yeah.
I don't worry about being good at games
No.
whenever I do video game stuff.
Well, that's what's so funny
I
about
don't really do video
Alfredo.
game stuff anymore, though.
Alfredo's like one of the first people like ever that is like legitimately
I know.
really, really good.
By the way, my kids, like, because he played PUBG
Yeah.
with us this weekend, now my kids think he's like the greatest thing ever. So I've completely lost all coolness with my kids. They're like,
Yeah.
now it's just, I know Alfredo.
Yeah, I think we're gonna replace Blaine and Plum Squad with
Oh, we're gonna
Alfredo.
replace Blaine.
Oh, if you say that, Blaine will fucking cry.
Yeah.
Oh God,
He stopped playing.
just don't replace me because I can't take that. Can I get a beer? This is gonna be like my first beer in forever.
Bernie was the original target of the replacement.
I bet I was. Yeah. Can I get a bottle opener that works?
But that's because
this
you
big one that I got off Etsy is not the best.
But that's because you
That's like a gas station one that works.
You've been out of town, so we talked about.
and you got more out of town coming up.
I do. Speaking of which, allow me to bring something up along that way, in that regard. Let me give that back to you. Gus. I'm
put it
not
right
gonna
there.
I'm not gonna drink more than one.
All right.
So I'm doing a couple things this month. Hey, what's up, Babs? You want to come jump in?
No, she said no.
Yeah,
Oh,
she's
are you
wearing a
wrapped?
See-through top.
No, first-
Gus, we gotta let her on.
First she said no, then she said $1 million butt.
I said no because of the thing after this.
All right. Well, Gus
Now get
won't
in
let
here.
Barbara on the podcast in a see-through top. Oh, now she's changing shirts. Convenient. Wow, that was fast.
You got a backpack on?
I do. I don't care about, I also have the crease in my hair.
What's a crease? What do you mean a crease in your hair?
I was just filming.
She was just filming.
You were
she said.
filming?
I had a ponytail in, so.
Oh, I gotcha. Nobody can hear you because you're off mic. What you eating? Heart healthy mix. What's that? What's in that?
I don't trust you.
That's a good call.
Hi,
That's
everyone.
a good call.
Hi, John.
Hi.
But what were we talking about before Barbara?
You got
rudely
something coming up?
Interrupted. I have two things coming up in the month of October. I just did a speech at the University of Texas, my alma mater. Did it at the College of Fine Arts. That was a lot of fun. Had a great audience for that. And then going to RTX London, which some of you may be aware of. And after that, I'm heading down to Melbourne, Australia.
For what?
I'm going to PAX Australia. I'm the not the keynote speaker. They don't call it that. I'm the story time person for PAX Australia this year.
Story time person.
Yeah, it's basically an hour with me on stage just telling a story. So that's what I was going to ask the audience.
He's gonna read the Three Little Pigs.
Pretty much.
It's my favorite one.
So I'm kind of curious for those of you who have followed Rooster Teeth for a really long period of time, especially if you're going to be at PAX Australia. What would you like to hear? Are there any stories about Rooster Teeth that you've always been curious
I
about?
think
Maybe you've heard the edges of
What
them?
everyone wants to know is, when did you realize you were really lucky to know the greatest human being ever,
Barbara
Gus
Dunkelman.
Sorolla? I think people want to really know, like, what that moment was for you.
Gus, I've always
You're
liked
so
you.
lucky.
I've always liked you. I have trouble knowing you, but I'll enjoy the experience.
I think you should just go through a simple 1 hour long sexual history of Bernie Burns.
Hour
It's
long?
just 1 hour long.
Yeah.
You know, you may have to fill and pad, but I think you should just walk people through, your journey as a sexual creature.
I think I do that. I'll do that.
Bernie
do that.
Burns, sexual creature.
But
Emmy nominated sexual.
send me your recommendations on Twitter. What hashtag should I use? How about just PAX Oz? What do they use?
That's like, you're gonna have a lot of other tweets in
Yeah,
there
it's
too.
Yeah, but
gonna
we want
be-
to dominate the fuck out of
Yeah,
those.
and use hashtag PAXOS to let me know what you
about
want me to do to Bernie's house while he's gone.
Bernie,
Hashtag-
Bernie MVP packs.
How about PAX story?
How about hashtag PAX Oz domination?
You're fucking everything up. PAX story.
PAX Bernie.
PAX story. Or
Bernie
just
PAX.
fucking at me. Just
Hashtag
fucking at me.
Bernie butts.
Barbara, this podcast is falling apart.
What
since you
happened?
came on.
I was gone for 40 minutes. What happened?
How are you doing, Babs? When was the last time you were on the podcast? I feel like we haven't been on the podcast together in a while.
Yeah.
That was lame.
I don't know, Gus.
I'm not
When
good
was
at
the last time I was on the podcast?
I don't know. I've invited you like 1,000,000 times, and you keep
Wow.
saying no.
We're discovering something here.
I've been.
When was the
out
last
of
time you
town.
said yes to me?
She was at the Streamies last week.
Yep.
Looked lovely on the red carpet.
Thank you, Bernie.
She was she walked the red carpet with Mr. Steven Suptic.
Pivot.
Yep. I had to like.
That's what she was doing. It's not a pivot. Fuck
You
off.
asked her when the last time I thought we were talking about the last time she was on the podcast. I guess we're talking about the streamies now.
I don't remember.
That was the last podcast. Who did I walk
What's
the red
more
carpet
Well,
with?
that was the last podcast. Yeah, that was the streamies. That was last week.
Yes.
Poor Steven was
What the
so
fuck is wrong
uncomfortable.
with you?
Fucking, what's wrong
Are
with
you
you?
drunk already?
Why are we arguing? What are we arguing about? I don't even know.
I'm enjoying it.
Tell
whatever
me
it is.
what I'm supposed to be mad about so I can get mad.
Mad about you.
Funyuns.
Funnies are terrible.
Neither really are. I'm with you on that one, Gus.
All right.
Gus
damn
and I
it.
agree on very specific stuff. We
tried.
did agree, interestingly enough, on something where we both saw the same post on some form of social media. I can't remember what it was.
It was Twitter.
It was a Twitter where someone was calling out white people specifically for using reaction GIFs, animated GIFs of black people constantly. And like some people just use the animated GIFs. I think we can all call
Often
like,
enough where it seems like that's their pattern.
Yeah.
and they called it the modern day blackface.
Oh my
and
gosh.
Gus and I came up and we were talking about it, and,
they,
Gus said
additionally, they also said the use of like dark-skinned emojis as well.
dark skin emojis.
Was the other one.
Yeah, I don't really identify particularly with that one, but I had to say to Gus, I go, I don't know that I disagree with that. I'm not really comfortable when my white friends use reaction gifs that have black people in them. It seems like
At least
Like
to
a
an
one-off, or
excess.
one-off, or like constantly.
One off.
Like,
I noticed-
I see some people who do it exclusively.
I noticed that. I noticed the trend when somebody uses a lot of them, and I just, it can't help.
I can understand looking for a GIF and finding the appropriate one, but when it seems like it's exclusive or only that kind of GIF, then
I
it's
agree.
like it's weird.
It's weird.
I'd never thought. I'd realized that I thought it was unusual, but I'd never really made that connection or drawn it out like that and given it that much thought. It was an article on the BBC, or it was a video that's
So
posted on the BBC.
you're saying people
Oh,
are,
was it?
are
Okay.
rightfully outraged on this.
Yes, I'm saying I
Yeah.
don't disagree with this.
Okay.
I mean, I think this person is right who pointed this out. There's a line at which it could definitely become inappropriate and start to feel that way.
Totally.
You think-
Inappropriate,
You think it's
but
appropriation?
appropriation.
Appropriation.
Yeah, in a way.
Inappropriate.
It's inappropriately appropriative. How's
Oh, so many P's.
that? So many appropers. Yeah, but I thought that was interesting. And then Gus, I thought it was interesting that Gus and I lined up on that because we don't often line up on a lot of stuff. Just something I'm curious about with you, Gus, and I'm going to ask you a very direct political question.
Do it.
I want a
I'll
direct
answer it.
answer. Would you support a ban on assault rifles in the U.S.
Let
for
me
citizens to own assault rifles?
let me preface it.
Go ahead.
I'm a gun enthusiast. I fired my first gun when I was 5 years old. I received my first gun for my 9th birthday. I don't like the term assault rifle because that doesn't really mean anything. But I would.
What do you think it means? I'll tell you what I think.
It doesn't mean anything. Like there's no term. Like assault rifle is just a generic term. It doesn't like there's no classification of gun.
Really?
That's assault rifle. Yeah, that's
To me, it's
just
like a
wasn't it-
rifle that
wasn't
can
it
go
coined-
fully automatic.
yeah. You can't get that already.
Wasn't it coined by like movies?
Yeah, that's
essentially?
like a nonsense term that has been sensationalized.
Got it. Okay, fair play.
Your average citizen cannot get fully automatic weapons. I am in favor of more closely regulated ownership of guns. I think that we're a little wild with it at the moment, and I think it's too easy to get weapons that can do a lot of damage
I
indiscriminately.
have a question,
Okay.
and this is not me taking one stance or the other. I'm just asking this as a Canadian. Why do people need to own guns?
Well, Canadians, I think per capita have more guns than
That's true.
Americans.
Yes.
I guess I just didn't.
But the
know
question is,
anyone.
why are there so? If that's the case, why are there so many less per capita gun deaths in Canada? Michael Moore pointed this out in
I was in Bowling for Columbine.
Bowling for Columbine. So I'm totally using his data here. It might be different from when he produced the movie, and it's Michael Moore, so who knows if it's 100% unbiased as well. But yeah, but Canada has more guns per capita.
I did not know that.
Ownership per person basically in the country, but has significantly less deaths per capita attributed to guns. So it's something about the combination of the availability of guns in America, but then also something very uniquely American about just gun violence
guess I
is
just
something that's associated
I've
with us.
never understood the reasoning.
I have a gun. I have two guns.
Why?
Home defense. I have one for home defense.
But if other people didn't have guns, would you still need one for home defense?
I don't know. I mean, it's a good question. I
I
mean,
just,
if
like,
they
I-
weren't,
yeah, I'm
if they
not
weren't
accusing.
legal,
It's the
no,
Batman.
I wouldn't go out
Yeah,
of my
I
way
would
to get an illegal gun.
Absolutely turn it in.
I wouldn't get an illegal gun. No.
Oh yeah. But it's the Batman question. Is
What is Gus? What is the Batman question?
Is Batman?
Where is she?
Is Batman? Is the evil or the illegal things that Batman does? Is it justified by the evil that he's fighting?
Or let me. Here's my. Is the Batman question is would the evil exist if Batman never put on the mask?
Ah.
Did I get it?
Chicken dinner.
Fucking nailed it.
Yeah.
Dude. Fucking nailed it.
yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Took me a second, but I'm with you right
Yeah.
here. I got you.
It's just I'm legitimately just asking out of curiosity, not trying to say anything's wrong or
Yeah,
right.
well, I grew like with me specifically. Like I grew up in a very rural area. I grew up in a very rural area where like firearms were very prevalent. There was a lot of hunting. There was a lot. I also grew up on the border at the time. It was like you had to have them kind of for defense, just because of the way things were at the time. But that's not everyone grew up like that.
Yeah,
I don't understand necessarily every justification for having one.
gotcha.
And I'm I'm in the same boat as Burnie. I own a couple, and it's really just for like home defense.
I had a unique experience. So Riot.
I know Riot.
Riot. She's from London, and one of her visits when she came to see me, whenever she comes to visit me, I like to take her to very, very American places.
That's cool.
And
Like Applebee's.
yes, I haven't taken her to those franchise restaurants yet. Did take her to Waffle House. She legitimately wanted to go there.
Yeah, it's great. It's great.
My favorite place I've ever taken her is I took her to a Cabela's.
Oh, that's
goodness.
shock. for a
Someone
lot of
took me
people.
here when
I think we took you.
visited Austin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
You
so
also took me shooting.
We-
I mean,
we took you
first
shooting.
and foremost, you walk into this place and the scale blew her mind just all together because there's just, when you go to England, there's just not places that are that big. I also took her to a super Walmart and that didn't end well at all. But I took her to Cabela's and she walked in and just that immediate scale of the whole building blew her away. But then I took her around a few places, took her over to the fish. She likes fish and showed her the stuffed animals and everything like that. And then showed her the gun.
Stuffed animals.
Yeah, the
They're not stuffed animals.
animals.
Taxidermy.
Taxidermied real
Stuffed
animals.
They're real animals.
And then I took her over to the gun section just
Yeah.
to show her that, and literally like the gun library, and
It's called the gun library.
well, they have a
too.
gun
Pretty
library.
fucking cool in there, though.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Like they have all the etched. It's almost like pewter. I don't know what is the on the sides of fancy shotguns, where they have the metal plates. They're etched. Is it just steel? But it looks like pewter.
Gunmetal?
They look like works of art. Gunmetal.
But yeah, and just the rows in rows of just stacked
There's a lot of guns
rifles.
and Capellas.
Yeah, that blew her mind that was just all available there, and the
And
idea.
you just pick it up off the shelf.
And the idea that I
look
could just
at-
pick one off
Yeah.
and that kind of thing,
Yeah.
or that I told her you could go to like I don't know Walmart so you can get like ammo and even guns.
But don't you still have to have a license? Like I don't know anything about it.
Let
Don't you
me
still have to-
do a quick correction.
Okay.
Guns per capita thing?
Yeah, the guns per capita thing.
Gotcha.
Peter Hayes posted from this is from Wikipedia. I'm going to cite something else after Wikipedia. According to Wikipedia, the United States has 112 guns per 100 residents, and is number 1 on the list. Canada
112 guns per 100 residents.
There's
Yes.
more than a gun per resident.
Yeah.
Canada is number 12 on the list at 30.8 per 100 residents. And then I wanted to double check that to look at a further source besides Wikipedia. And according to Global News, based out of Canada, those numbers are pretty much in line.
Wait, so
According to Global News, there's 89 firearms per 100 residents in the U.S., and Canada has 31 firearms per 100 residents.
so we were very wrong.
Very wrong.
Way off.
Or the
Gotcha.
data has
There's the
changed.
gun library.
that's the gun library.
dramatically.
At
By the
Cabela's.
way, so this is we're showing in the video podcast. If you're listening to the audio version, we're looking at a photo right now of the gun library. I assume this is in Cabela's.
That looks like Cabela's.
looks like
It does, but I don't remember those
This
windows.
doesn't look
Well,
like the
a
one in
Cabela's.
Buda.
It could be
Yeah.
a
doesn't look like the one in
Cabela's,
Buda.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's we're looking at it, and on the right side there's a rack of guns. There's about 40 times that amount of racks of guns behind the camera where we're looking now. It's
Like-
just a shopping mall of guns.
Like going down an aisle of cereal in a
Yeah.
grocery store. That's how the guns.
Like
are just,
when you
More
hit the
so.
wardrobe
More
section of Walmart,
Yeah.
that big section that's all the clothes, they have that in Cabela's, but it's all guns.
Can you just go in and buy? Like, how does it work? Do you?
So, okay,
Do you need a
uh,
license?
You want to go buy a gun after this, Barb?
No,
Just walk
I
in,
do
let's
not.
Let's go buy a gun.
The last,
I'm good, man.
So what you do is you go up. So I'll give you an example, right?
Okay.
I have purchased a gun at Academy before, which is a sporting goods store.
Okay.
You go in, and
That's right about mine too.
yeah, you tell them, I want that gun. Like, okay, fill out this piece of paper, and it's like your name, your social security number, your address. They take it, and then they like
Do a
do whatever
background check?
check, and it takes like less than 5 minutes, like 2 or 3 minutes. Like, okay, then they ring you up, and you're like, oh, I want those bullets too, and they ring you up for it, and then they don't give it to you there. They walk you to the front of the store, and then once you step out of the store, it's like, here's your gun and your bullets. The whole process takes
God.
just a couple of minutes. It's really quick.
That is disturbing to me.
It is. You
That-
could also run your car through the front of the store, though. Too.
Sure, but the fact that anyone could get access to something like that
Well-
could kill.
They did do a check.
Yes, but
I'm just saying. So I wouldn't say anyone. I would be very careful with the phrasing on that.
the majority of people.
Yes.
That's disturbing to me. That's
Yeah.
disturbing.
But then that was like, that wasn't a rifle or anything. That was a handgun.
So,
Sure, but
an
you
arg-
could kill how many bullets? 6, 8?
That one 15. No,
well,
17.
how about this?
Just 17
How about
people.
this? Now we're up to 60
feel
dead
like
in
it.
Las Vegas. Is that where we are?
The last I saw was 58.
Okay,
Yeah,
right,
pretty
right.
I
much.
saw
close to
58 with a plus sign next to it.
And then it was 400 injured or more.
That's
Yes.
what I saw.
400 injured.
Yeah.
Now, granted, an arena like that, some of the injuries could be from
Stampede.
I'm sure a lot are from
Yeah.
riot, mentality.
Right, cost.
No, do not say
Jeez.
that.
But if you look at that, that's the thing to me is Barbara is when you talk about like assault rifles and things. If someone walked in there with a barrel loading musket they're not going to kill 58 people.
Yeah,
it's not
it's-
going to happen.
On the topic of like these mass shootings we have, and the fact that we get numb to them to a certain extent.
Yeah.
The one out of this one that kind of broke me out of that numb was the video of the person shooting the stage with their camera, and the sound of how quickly the bullets were being fired.
Yeah.
I've heard audio of other shootings and that kind of thing, and it's scary. This sounded like lighting a string of firecrackers.
I'm really curious to know what kind of firearms he had and how he acquired them. So
Speculation is now he had modified assault rifles.
yes, that is something that is possible. So I'm curious to know how he got that, because like I said earlier, your average private citizen cannot get fully automatic weapons.
They can't get them, but they can get a weapon and could probably go on a YouTube video and see how to modify it to be fully.
Some
I mean, I can modify a Glock to be full auto. A pistol.
it depends on the weapon. Some you can do
Yeah.
very easily, and some you can't. Like a Glock at 400 yards.
Right.
Not
That's what I'm
very
saying.
effective. But
Also,
a
it's like,
rifle,
how many bullets can you fit in a Glock?
Right.
Even with an extended mag, 15,
So that
30.
was-
17.
That was
Yeah.
that was the conversation at the Orlando shooting, was of how quickly he was able to just release that many bullets to kill that many people that quickly, and to be shooting from
there's a bullshit accessory. Again, I'm a gun enthusiast. This accessory is bullshit. Where it's you have semi-automatic means you pull the trigger and you release and you can immediately pull the trigger
Yeah.
again.
Right.
So it's
Every time you
one-
pull the trigger, one bullet.
Right. Fully automatic is you hold the trigger down and it continues to fire until you release the trigger. There's an attachment you can get for some firearms that you put it on the back. You don't have to modify the gun at all. You put this attachment on the back and you hold the button down, or the button. Too many video games. You hold the trigger down and then this attachment basically re-readies the weapon to fire again.
it
So
bypasses that.
Right. It essentially makes it fully automatic. I think things like that, like aftermarket attachments like that, should not be allowed. If you're not allowed to buy a fully automatic weapon in the first place, you shouldn't be able to easily buy this attachment that makes this modification for you.
Yeah.
My opinion.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's unreasonable.
I've sneezed. That's you.
Bless you.
You got this.
That's you.
I believe in you.
I don't have sneezed.
Think of the sun.
But I was watching. So just recently, I spent some time with some very avid hunters, and I don't believe in big game hunting, but we spent some time with them because Ellie went to sniper school, and sniper school, they don't teach civilian military tactics, so it's all hunting. It's all long range hunting, and so a lot of these guys that worked out at this ranch, they were all big game hunters. They even have some really incredible, whether or not you agree with this, they have some incredible training courses where they have targets that when you shoot them, the targets then charge you. So they can train you if, like, you get charged.
Wow, that's some thought.
Yeah, if you get charged out in the, Serengeti somewhere, you can still survive. So they have these massive things that charge directly at you and kind of like get you off balance. Anyway, I was watching them shoot. I was watching a group of people shoot long range with rifles. And it was really incredible. It was a really cool sport. It was amazing to watch Ellie hit stuff that was half a mile away and this big. It was really cool to watch that. But I'm also watching the way they shoot. And it's like, bang, and then shoot, and then lining up the next one and shooting. To me, it's like, I don't know, for hunting, which is why I think we need guns today. The past, when we needed to have an equal amount of firepower to the governments that we assign to serve us so they don't, take us over, that we can't have that anymore. We can't have nukes. We can't have tanks. People can't have those things. It's just like, it wouldn't make sense.
You can't buy an RPG.
Right, you can't buy an RPG. It's just like we've progressed beyond that point. So if we're at a point where we have guns, I don't know what we need beyond bolt action rifles for that, and then perhaps handguns for self-defense, and shotguns, which I understand. But when you get up into these rifles, to me, that you can go semi-automatic, which is still super fucking dangerous, or they can be modified to go fully automatic. I mean, they're just death machines. That's what they are. In fact, if you saw someone using them in a hunting environment, they would get a massive fine, right?
I don't think I was an avid hunter when I was younger. I don't think I ever hunted with a semi-automatic weapon.
Everything you had to.
Is it legal to do that?
Yeah, absolutely.
It is now.
Like, you can't fish with dynamite.
I got the answer. Yeah, you can absolutely hunt with a semi-automatic weapon.
Really? That's I
Yikes.
don't know. It's like I don't think that's necessary. I just don't think that's necessary.
There's a lot of things I feel are unnecessary. But
What, with guns in general?
Yeah.
So if you had your ideal scenario, what would that be, Barb?
Police officers would have guns.
And nobody else?
Nobody else.
Fucking, I don't know, dude.
Well, that was the crazy.
Which I am sure everyone's
the
going to
vid-
get on me on Twitter because of this. But
Did you see the
that's what
video
it-
from Spain this week where you were going to go visit?
No.
Yeah.
Although it's funny because Bethany and I, we were taking a trip after RTX London, we're deciding whether to go to Madrid or Rome. We were like basically weighing the two options, and so I'm like, let's put it to Twitter and make a poll. And everyone was like, you probably don't want to go to Spain now.
Yeah.
And I had no idea what was going on, so I had to then look at the news and like, okay, well, Rome it is. Yikes.
So read about and I'll say this hopefully correctly, Catalan independence. The Catalan independence movement is a political and popular movement derived from Catalan nationalism, which seeks the independence of Catalonia from Spain. The political movement began in 1922. And there's a little bit of a history here, but so essentially, people in Catalonia were going to the polls to vote for independence of Catalonia from Spain, and I mean it was to the point where the Spanish government was shipping in riot police basically
My God.
to pull these people out of polling places and just from the videos just wail on them with clubs and
And
shields.
that just happened.
Just happened. I mean, this weekend it was all over the place about
Wow.
it. So it's it's kind of crazy because I think back like people in the 30s, and it's like you think about like how did they get to this point where like these groups of people and like the right wing grew so much, and then suddenly we had all this fascism, and it's like we're kind of in the middle of like that now. Nobody's really doing anything. Like I look even like this Puerto Rico situation. Everybody's kind of talking about it, but it's like at what point do you get in a boat yourself and go start to ferry people like you're like the American version of Dunkirk? Like there's this whole movie that celebrates people from the cliffs of Dover in Britain going across and getting the troops and bringing them back. It's like where's that movement to like go and grab these people out of fucking Puerto Rico? It's crazy what's going on.
We only talked about it briefly last week, and I kind of regret that because at the time I thought, oh well, they're taking care of it, right? Like it just happened a couple days ago. It's going to be resolved here very soon.
One of the oldest phenomena
And
we
it's
talked
been a
about on the
week.
podcast. Yeah,
And it's like it's still
Happened with
ongoing.
Katrina.
Right. That's exactly what I think of. And I think of there was that press conference where George W. Bush was talking with his FEMA director. He's like, he's doing a heck of a job. He's doing great. And everyone's like, what? No, he's not. Like, shit's still broken.
Yeah.
I feel like we're in that cycle again. And it's just crazy to me that that's still happening. Like you said, Katrina happened. It was super fucked up. And I thought, well, we learned, right? Like FEMA learned. The United States now knows how to respond to this. And we're never going to see that again. And it's been 10 years, but here we are again. It's really crazy.
Well, Flint,
Yeah.
Michigan still doesn't have clean water, which is just fascinating to me as an American. I remember one time somebody asked, I think it was on The Amazing Race. We were in Switzerland and somebody asked if you could drink the water out of the tap. And I was
Yeah.
like, it's almost like an insulting question to ask. And then later I heard someone ask that question about America. I'm like, of course you can drink the water out of the tap. Why
Yeah.
wouldn't you be able to drink water out of the tap? That's ridiculous. But then there's places in America now where it's like, you
You
can't.
cannot drink.
No one can. No one should drink water out of the tap.
Yeah.
It's just it's nuts. It's nuts. We should be able to solve these things. Like
Yeah.
I get the feeling too. It's like everything is so spread out. Our attention is so just like paper thin at this point because we're aware of so many things that happen. But at the same time, it does feel like there's certain things when they happen. It's like, okay, this is what we're doing. We're gonna work on this and fix this, And sure enough, we had Harvey, and then we had Irma. And then
Jose.
now and then led to Puerto Rico. So it was one of those things where we after Houston and then Florida and Puerto Rico, it's crazy to me that all those things would happen at once, but you kind of like hike it up and go and fix these problems,
Yeah, and then on top of that, I mentioned that as well last week. On top of that, you also have like those 2 huge earthquakes in Mexico as well,
It's nuts, dude.
which is like super close. And
There's a volcano that's about to explode somewhere too.
Is the Earth ending? Is the world just coming to a close?
there's a lot going on.
We're a few weeks away from Geostorm, the movie coming out. So
Tom Petty was resurrected.
Is he
Wait,
alive?
Is he alive or is he?
shut up.
So, but right before we recorded this podcast, I'm sure by the time people listen to it, it'll be old news. But I was like, oh, it's too bad Tom Petty died. And Edward, our social media manager,
Oh, yeah.
said he goes, oh no, that's not, he's not dead. And I was like, what?
Yeah, like I heard that they called
Wait,
it
are
too
you
early.
serious?
I heard they called it too early. He's like on the brink of.
So he made sure
Oh.
LAPD clarifies it cannot confirm Tom Petty's death.
So I mean, here's the thing: he's not doing well.
Yeah, but still, that's a huge
it's a big
oversight.
difference. It's a big difference.
But
That's a
also-
big difference.
I also don't know if he's dead or not. Like I still, even with that, they can't clarify. He could
That's
be.
wild.
and he
The,
could
the
not be.
most recent article I can see is from the New York Daily News. It says rock legend Tom Petty pulled off life support after going into cardiac arrest.
So he's, okay.
So he could still survive.
Well, he's probably at a DNR.
But there's a reason why they pulled him off life
Yeah.
support. Yeah.
It's a let it just peter out as it's naturally going to peter
My-
out.
Grandfather survived 11 days after being taken off life support.
Is that true? Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
11
It's always
days.
so I'm sorry that happened. That's always a tough decision when those things come up, and it's
Mm-hmm.
like, I don't know. It's just such a tough decision. I've worked in healthcare. I've had sick relatives. It's just it's not fun. It's not fun, man.
Oh, and Aisha Willis on Twitter, who's this Aisha Adventures, says, "Don't forget about the West Coast fires.
Oh yeah, those were
Yeah.
fun
That's
to
going
watch
on as well."
I was in Portland when that was going on.
I listed like everything all at once. Like we had in 3 weeks' time, we had an eclipse, 2 hurricanes, forest fires, and a nuclear explosion.
And earthquakes, right?
And earthquakes and the earthquakes. That was literally, I think, 2.5 weeks. All of those things happened.
Aren't there
That's
some
nuts.
like what's it called? People who theorize, conspiracy theorists who believe like the eclipse brought just bad everything.
Well, there's usually a sign of a bad omen.
Yeah.
But the thing about eclipses is they don't. I mean, like Mexico, I don't think was even affected by the eclipse. Like, could they see any percentage of the eclipse?
No.
Yeah.
I think it's just the fact that it
The eclipse.
happened.
Wait, are you saying
It's
are you saying that the bad things brought by eclipse only affect those who see the eclipse?
otherwise we just have bad
Yeah,
things all the
eclipses
fucking
happen
time.
over the ocean. Like,
Okay,
I mean,
I'm just clarifying.
Yeah.
You know, this myth.
Sun's fine. Sun was part of the eclipse, and
Sun's
it was
fine?
The sun is fine.
the
Do you
moon
know
is fine.
that?
I don't know that.
Have you checked on it?
I
The
never
second the
call
sun
anymore,
is not
John.
fine, we'll know because we'll be dead.
No, we'll know about 8 minutes
the
later.
second, yeah, when we'll have
We'll know
a
about
delay.
480 seconds later.
Yeah.
We'll know.
Yeah.
I should also point out, earthquake. There was the fire in the northwest. There was 2 hurricanes. There was a nuclear explosion, and also John was not invited to the read through for the new script. That's the other bad thing that
Oh.
happened.
I'm gonna hide things in your house.
Probably
while
the
you're
eclipse,
gone.
John.
I'm gonna hide things.
It's funny because I'm reading for like 7 different parts in that script.
Are you?
Brag about it.
I mean,
Because you're missing it right now. If that's the case.
no, it starts.
No, it comes up soon.
I need to leave like right when the podcast ends.
Oh.
It starts at 6:30. But I guess they wrote a lot of women into this thing, but they don't have enough women to read the part.
Yeah, there's a lot of women in this
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
So there's I have like 7 parts that I'm reading for it.
Brag.
I've
about
been,
it.
I've been
Jesus.
called pretty feminine.
You want to come take one?
That's finally coming in handy.
Yeah.
After all this time, John's like, "Hey, as it turns out, a lot of people say that I'm super feminine.
Yeah.
I think there's a girl named Peggy who has a line or two. If you'd like that.
I could be a Peggy.
She gets pegged. Sorry,
Probably.
I could get pegged. I could get pegged if I want to.
you can, John. You can.
Don't
Yes.
put me in a box.
I'm not putting you in any box. I'm not putting you in any box.
You're in your own.
I'm
special
putting stuff
place.
in your box. That's what I'm doing.
Let me read this other thing here. One reminder: when this episode of Received Podcast is also brought to you by.
Are you gonna
okay?
get me some flowers?
No,
I'm your best friend.
we are best friends.
Oh yeah.
Gus and I filmed some stuff today
We
where
were-
he got to play my best friend.
We were hanging out.
It's the role he was born to do.
I know.
People were laughing at us.
I know.
Why? You guys are friends.
I think it's just like we're.
You'll understand more when you see it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you guys are friends, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You kind of like pause there.
We used to get lunch. We don't do that anymore.
No.
I have a fun story about a friend. Can I
Which-
tell a fun
which-
story about a friend?
Which friend?
Bethany.
Absolutely.
So I came into the office maybe 2 weeks ago, and Bethany grabbed me and she says, "Hey, I found you on Tinder," and I swiped right. So if you find me, you have to swipe right too. And so
Do people just do that as a joke? Do you swipe people you know as a joke?
No, I avoid that because I don't want to have that awkward conversation of them actually thinking that I'm swiping on them.
Oh
Well,
yeah,
that's why you send the
this
outside
was-
text, maybe?
This
Have
was
you ever swiped anybody you know, Barbara?
Not right on it. I've always swiped left on them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what? Right. is like, let's
this
get
I think
busy.
is I think this is a game you play with someone you're very very comfortable with, and you know that you can have that joke with.
Oh yeah, I know. I swiped right on Chris.
Damaris.
Yeah.
Do you like Chris Damaris?
You
Really?
made
I
out-
hate Chris Damaris.
Yeah. Would you swipe right or left on Chris Damaris?
Oh,
I would swipe
I also
super left.
found out why they scheduled it tonight, by the way.
Why?
Although I kind of don't want to tell you because I like this Chris hate train. It's because of Matt's schedule.
Yeah, that's bullshit. I'm gonna pull up Matt's calendar right now.
He can do that. Matt had a birthday this weekend. Happy birthday, Matt.
Happy birthday, Matt.
Happy birthday, Matt.
He's still going.
So Bethany said,
Oh yeah.
So
So
she
she
swipe-
said,
swipe on
you.
she said, so if you find me, you have to swipe right on me. And I was like, okay, if I find you, I'll do that. And like a couple weeks went by.
Matt's available at the same time tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. In fact, Matt's really available Wednesday after. Well, I won't say, but yeah.
Yeah, but some of us are at New York Comic Con. Maybe that's why.
I only have one thing to say to that, Gus. Dang.
What is that?
Sorry, I
mean?
couldn't keep a straight
It
face
was an
like that. It was
earlier
really-
joke. You missed it.
It was
Earlier joke.
a way earlier joke.
Yeah.
And not a good one.
Okay.
So what's the moral of the story? Did you swipe right on Bethany?
So what is? I eventually found Bethany and I swiped right on her.
What happened?
And so we got matched.
And? Did you guys talk?
Are you guys
Yeah.
married now?
My first message to her. Let me see if I can actually get this as accurate as possible.
So Barbara, while he's
Bernie?
looking that up,
Yeah.
she likes him, right? I mean, this is a very passive way of trying to set up.
it could be.
I mean, I don't want to speak for Bethany,
It could
but
be.
I'm pretty sure she does not.
John, I like
the
you.
look on John's face.
John is upset.
Oh, come on.
You know she hates you.
Use you.
You don't know?
You don't know.
You don't know?
Huh? You're right. I don't know.
There are lots
right,
of people
all
who
right.
have bad taste.
What
Gus,
does the
do you like
message
me?
say?
I like you, John.
Good.
What does the
Not
message
right
say?
Okay, so
Got
my
that one
first
out.
message to her was, it says, you matched with Bethany. And then I said, will you marry me? And she replied with Sunday. And then she said, Jesus' day or never. And I said, I said this. I said, dibs on Barb is my best man. And then she said, dibs on Gus.
I was not asked.
Wow.
I was not party to this.
And then I said, done. And then I'm reading these ahead in case something goes terribly wrong.
What could go wrong?
I don't
John?
know. I don't remember
you
what I
had
said.
the conversation.
And then she said, I just ordered my wedding dress. We're going to be so happy together.
Let me
Yes,
read
you
it.
are.
Let me read it.
You can fuck right up. I'm not handing you my Tinder under any
Oh,
circumstances
no.
whatsoever.
He's just going to swipe right on everyone.
That's what John does.
No, very picky, very picky. And then I said,
I would have that thing that goes in the back of assault rifles. It's just be like,
you can do that with a
Bernie.
fidget spinner. You can do it with a
come
fidget
on,
spinner.
it's just an aftermarket attachment. It has nothing to do with political stuff.
So she said, we're going to be so happy together. And I said, new RT power couple, fuck the Joneses. And then she said, speaking of that, I'm pregnant and it's yours. And
That was fast.
I said, well, we had a good run. And she said, but you said our love was forever. And then that was,
Does this get interesting?
this was
Anybody?
Wednesday.
I'm waiting for it.
And then Sunday rolls around and I completely forgot. And then Sunday night at 11:50 p.m., she says, sorry, I stood you up at the altar today, cold feet and whatnot.
wow,
So
she
we,
remembered.
Yeah, she remembered and I didn't.
I
at
was
all.
there in my tux.
So yeah, you would have been my best friend.
So there's Tinder Gold.
So you two like each other. I totally get that from the story.
We're getting married.
That you two like
We're
each
getting
other.
married. We're
getting-
and you just
I'm the
don't
best
have
man.
the courage.
Don't
Gus
get in the
is
way
the
of
maid
my
of honor.
each other.
Don't get in the way of
Pay
my
attention.
happiness, Bernie Burns.
I'm not. I'm just telling you, ask out Bethany.
Will
if you, wanna
you
ask out Bethany.
officiate? No, you can officiate.
I can officiate.
can.
He's the best man. He can't officiate.
Okay, then
No,
you
he's
got
the
You
maid
have to
of
get
honor.
licensed.
Double duty.
You asking me to
You
to
officiate our
perform-
wedding, okay?
Really, to perform the ceremony? You want me to do that?
Yeah.
Fuck no. Get out of here. I'm not doing that.
You look so honored for a second. So there's Tinder.
fuck
Do you have
outta
Tinder Gold?
Why you got to be that way?
Why?
What's Tinder Gold?
Tinder Gold
Because
is.
I've been
I
married,
think
John.
you pay like
I
$5
know.
a year for this thing.
$5 a year?
No, you don't pay $5 a year. Tinder Gold's way more expensive
How
than
much
that.
is it?
Tinder, there's two levels. I can't remember what they're called.
Wait. What does Tinder Gold do?
So there's a few features.
I can
that
actually
adds.
find it right
One,
now.
it lets you rewind. So if you swipe on someone and you're like, oh shit, like I actually want to swipe the other way, you could go backwards.
How often does that happen?
All the time.
Really?
Well,
You
sometimes it'll.
swipe left because you're in
Yeah, you
zones.
swipe left and then you're like, oh wait, like he actually looked cute. Let me go back and look at him again.
Okay.
9 times out of 10, I'll actually swipe left again because I'm like, never mind.
But you just want the ability to do it.
Exactly.
So let
Oh.
me just.
$4.99.
I have a question.
This is
about Tinder.
important, Barbara, because I think people run across you on Tinder. You're the kind of person they want to run across
Right.
on Tinder. So
Oh,
I wonder how it works.
I said right.
How it works
Right.
for you.
Right.
Yeah.
So are you just swiping so fucking fast that you're just looking at photos? I mean, honestly,
I'm
are you reading-
very decisive when it comes to that kind of stuff. Like,
So you're not reading through bios and like digging deep,
not
going to
unless
second
I
picture.
have an attraction to them.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, fair. That's fair.
Yeah,
Totally fair. Go
That's
ahead.
that's what Tinder is. It's the initial attraction. But one of the features that Tinder Gold has is you could see people who like you before you swipe on them.
So you can go through anybody that's liked you already.
So this is the number of matches I've had, not matches, but people who've liked me. So I just have to go through them and pick
Let
who
me
I
see.
want.
Can I see the number? I won't say.
What
it.
do you think it's going to be?
I have no clue because I don't know what Tinder is, though. I imagine it's more than what John has. Because you're a guy. Because you're a guy.
Damn, man, he's fucking. It's the shit on John's
is this
podcast.
real?
What's wrong with us, Bernie?
That is unbelievable.
What's wrong with us?
We're just a dime a dozen. We're guys. That's
No,
all
no,
it is.
no. What's wrong with you and me here? What's going on?
Oh, you think we have a problem?
He's jealous you're on
I literally
Tinder,
said it's
so
because you're a guy and you use Tinder. I'm not going to say it to Gus because Gus doesn't use Tinder.
Gus-
That's
Gus-
why I brought it up. I'm not insulting you, you dumb prick.
Because it used Ginder.
Sorry. I lost my train of thought there.
But yeah, so you could
Got defeated my own purpose.
you go in and you could see them and you could swipe from inside the screen.
You've lost him, Barbara.
I know.
They're
I
gone.
was
Oh, sorry.
trying to
gone.
explain it.
Sorry. Oh.
So you could just swipe in the screen there if you want.
Oh my God, these are people.
Yeah.
And you're just like,
You should let us
like,
decide for you, Barbara.
No.
oh, I can find you a good dude.
Well,
Let me
there's-
wing it in here.
No, don't touch it.
So
Here,
let me
over
ask you
here,
a question. When you match with somebody, how quickly do they come back, too? That's the other thing.
Everyone's different.
Oh, really?
Everyone's different.
Yeah.
But I can't get through that.
Why do you even have that service? That's too many people. If I had that many emails that I had to read, I would just select all and
Yeah.
delete because I got to start over.
What's your inbox count at?
Me?
Yeah.
It's low. It's probably like 15 at this point.
Oh, it's not bad.
No, I keep it pretty low.
You could. I don't care if people know that number.
The number of people that have liked on Barbara.
Seven
Yeah.
people's not a lot, Barbara.
Can I say what can I say the number that it's close to?
Yeah.
It's negative.
Gus. It's literally close to 10,000 people that she has to go through.
4 digits.
Yeah.
High 4 digits.
High 4 digits.
Wow.
She's got to go through that many.
I don't have.
I feel like I could relate. I know.
I
If
don't
I
have-
use Tinder, I'd be there.
I don't have gold, so all it says is that I have 99 plus.
I have a great
Oh,
idea.
there you go.
Because it
I
just
have a
tells
great
you that, but I don't know if that number would change at all. And I don't want to see if that number changes because I'm worried about how low it'd be.
Gus,
That's
hey,
still
what's your
awesome.
age limit you have set on yours?
I think I put 27 to 32.
I thought your top was.
No.
That would be awesome.
Or 26 to 32. Maybe.
Here's what I would love to do. And I hope Esther would be okay with this.
Uh-oh. This is not going to be good.
You should make Gus a Tinder profile, like including like we schedule a photo shoot, and you determine what the photos are. We can stage stuff like he's a helicopter pilot or something like that.
No, don't
You just-
lie.
Well, I'm just saying
He has a good job.
he does have a good job, but it doesn't translate well. He looks like a dork with a mic in front of him.
Jesus.
So I'm just saying, I'm the same boat. Look at this.
I think I'm pretty
Look-
handsome.
Eh.
I'm
There
not, wearing
you
that
go.
stupid, I'm not wearing that stupid hat.
I'm just saying that's not going to
Fucking
translate to being.
insulting.
That's not a sexy thing. You got a big mic sticking in your gob.
Yeah, because every
It's phallic. That could be sexy to some people.
To some people, yes.
I've,
That's his Tinder profile.
Ladies.
And then you help him write his bio as well.
Okay.
Are you going to do that? Can we do that, Gus?
That'd be a fun experience.
I don't want to do that. I don't know. I feel weird about that. Like you're like leading other people on, or you're lying.
Yeah, it's true. It's kind of a shitty.
you think you're gonna break that many
Oh,
hearts?
you know, you're right. That's a good point.
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot.
Well-
He's gonna have upwards of 10,000.
But it's women.
How many- I
they're
mean, how
on
many-
Tinder.
Oh, stop it.
How many women are in Austin? I mean, it would be like 500,000.
It's a lot.
Right? Yeah, I wouldn't want to
but-
break. I wouldn't want to break all those hearts.
Look at you.
I
Look at you.
found you.
Did you find me?
I found you.
Did you swipe on her?
I'm not gonna say.
All right, fair play. So this is something I've always wanted to do. I
Because
want
you
to
just said you don't swipe on people, so I
Well, that means that you swipe left.
totally swiped right on you.
You did?
I did.
Oh, I should find you in my likes.
There you go.
Oh, if we see rice here and there. I guess it's just your normal profile, though, right?
Yeah, it's all pictures that I've ever posted.
So I've always wanted to have a version of Tinder that could be for
Except for the nudes.
smaller groups. Like if there was just a group that was, for instance, a group of people you work with, like Rooster Teeth, have that, and so
no.
only the people that appear in it.
No. Why would I only want to match
or
with
like
Richie
your
people?
your social circle.
Why would I need Tinder for my social circle? Tinder is made so
Apparently,
that I can
why
find...
do you need Tinder to meet people,
because,
John?
Because Tinder it gets me in contact with people that are not in my social circle.
True.
If I had people in my social circle that fulfilled
You
my
just go to the
dating
bar
needs-
though, and like.
Everyone in my social
Going to the
circle
bar is
works at
scary, okay?
All right, that's what I'm saying.
It's
See,
scary.
you and I have old man perspective on this.
yeah, I
Yeah.
know.
We
Go out and meet people.
yeah we did this.
No, I
a
get what you're saying.
different way.
Actually, what John just said legitimately put Tinder in a better perspective for me. It just widens your search net.
Yeah,
you
it's
know?
efficiency. It's instead of having to go and pick that bar over there
And hope the person
and
walk
expect
in.
that there's someone in that bar that I like and they might like me.
And it's not crazy.
And it's not crazy.
Well, look,
You just
Tinder's
go-
a filter
yeah,
for
you
crazy.
just go out and have fun.
It
And
is
if you meet
somewhat-
someone, you do.
How?
Because you could actually speak to them before meeting them in person.
Yeah.
I can act like a normal
But if
person.
you're meeting them in public,
I don't
This is
know.
efficiency. It's the ability to just literally be able to go through a mass amount of people
You got a mic problem?
from the
mic's
convenience
dead?
of my phone, and then being able
we
to
got
like make
Barbara's mic was dead. We got her new mic.
Barb's
Hello.
got a better mic. It's
Okay.
able to make those connections beforehand, and then be able to make like set plans to go on dates and that kind of thing. It's just efficiency.
There are 10,000 dicks on Twitter that are just like excited about you, Barbara. If you think about it like that. 20,000.
And
balls.
I probably
How
am
many-
interested in like 4 of them.
You don't know if there's 2 balls in all those dicks.
That is true. You make a good point. But they
you
could be a
don't
couple
know.
that have 3.
It probably averages out. Some
That
have
might
1,
not
some
be.
have 3.
That might not just be dicks too. There could be chicks that swipe right on.
Is that
top.
true?
Yeah.
yeah,
No,
but
'cause
I don't
he-
have that setting on.
Yeah, she would have that
Oh.
setting off.
Yeah, I don't think I'm visible to women because I put only men because I'm
Trust me, John, I've tried.
straight.
She's not interested.
She's not interested in what?
I've tried to set her up with women before. She's
Oh,
not
oh,
interested.
okay.
Have you?
Yeah. Like years ago.
You love to set people up.
I do.
Bernie
You
is
love
like
being a wingman.
You're actually a great matchmaker / wingman.
Yeah, listen, here's what. It's all karma. If I ever end up single again, not that I would. If I ever end up single again, then it all will come back and I'll have this squadron of wingmen
Plethora.
who help me.
I'd help you.
I'd help you too.
I would love to be your wingman.
It's just I'm an easy sell.
I love the way. Here's
Dork
the
with a
thing.
microphone in front of him.
Bernie is
Great.
the best
Saw your hair
person.
earlier.
You're the best person at talking me up. Like,
Oh, yeah.
if you introduce me to someone, I'm like, I feel so good about myself in that
You're
moment.
yeah, but you're easy though. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, but
damn.
Well,
you're
yeah.
That's what I
Just
say.
kidding.
This is Barbara. She's easy. No, one of the things I love to do is make email introductions. I don't have as much time as I used to before, but I used to write these people are like, hey, this is someone.
Wait. Are you saying that because you don't have as much time as you used to, you use a application in order to expedite a process for yourself?
What do you mean email? I'm saying
Oh, okay,
email.
okay.
Before I had more
No.
time.
So instead of being able to like go and actually hook up people in person, use email to help this.
Dude, are you coming at me?
Yes,
Because
I'm coming at you because you fucking said Tinder is stupid, and then you should just go to bars
I
and do it in
literally
person.
said, John, you woke me up about something on Tinder.
Then
And
I
you-
don't know why I'm
you made me
angry
realize-
anymore.
I don't know. You ruined a moment that we had. Now we're back to square one. Fucking asshole. Go on Tinder and get 0 likes. What do I care?
I have 99 plus.
99 plus.
Do you really?
Yeah, it doesn't tell me what the number is.
Because
but
I
it
have
says
gold,
that.
so I could actually.
Also,
see the
gold
numbers.
is not $5
Why
a year.
don't you get gold?
$5
Is it $5 a
It's
month?
$30 a month.
That's like
I
one
just
drink
I
at
think
a
it was
bar.
$4.99 a month. Is what I just read.
$4.99 a
I
month.
looked it up.
I'm not
I'm looking
spending.
at the app right now, and it says $30 a month if you do month by
Oh,
month.
if you're ugly.
I am not spending that much a month. I think it's like a one-time payment of 30.
She has
It
Tinder
says
Gold. You
right
have Tinder.
here.
Bleh.
It says right here.
Tinder mold.
Well, that's Tinder Plus. Then there's gold.
Tinder.
Where's gold?
Blackish
Gold.
green.
Where's gold? Get Tinder Gold. Okay, so Tinder Gold is $12.50 a month if you pay for 12 months, $18 for 6, and then $30 if you go month by month.
Maybe
You're paying
Dude,
$30 a
30
month.
bucks a
So
month.
I guess Tinder Gold. I'm reading an article
Tinder
from The
Plus
Verge.
is a different thing.
Maybe
I'm reading an
it's
article from The Verge.
And
Tinder
you're
Gold
gold.
is designed to be an upgrade on top of its current optional subscription plan, Tinder Plus.
Yeah.
So you pay for Tinder Plus, and then it's another $4.99 a month for Tinder Gold.
And gold is the one that lets you see your likes.
Well, I should probably disable that.
Why?
It's $30 a month.
I mean,
You're not paying month to month though.
here's
are
the
you?
thing. I also like.
It's $30
I save a lot of money nowadays. You know.
Yeah.
That's why I'm only paying for myself.
It's an
when I go
investment,
out.
Barbara.
It's an investment in seeing how
Dick.
many dicks are interested in me.
Yeah.
Just the dicks.
10,000. It's pretty fucking impressive. Still a lot of dicks.
You want one?
It's a lot of balls.
Let me see.
Here, let me-
I'll be happy.
Let me read this thing here. I want to remind everyone this episode of Rooster Teeth Podcast is also brought to you by Thank you Squarespace for making it easy to have an online presence.
Make your own Tinder.
Everyone should have their own. Right? You can set up a website for your own profile.
Oh, cool.
Does anyone ever do that? Can you link to an external website?
You can't. I don't think you could hyperlink.
What?
Like make your own website, like here?
You could. I mean, you could write anything you want in your bio, including put a link in there.
Like put a link in there. Make
You
your own.
can't
like,
link
dating
external
profile?
site now on YouTube unless you're part of the partner program, which people were very upset about. I don't know that I'm that
I thought
concerned
that was
about
always the.
it. No,
way it
people
was.
could do it before. So I mean, there's got to be something to protect from everyone who's just gonna make bots. Eventually, we're gonna have rules where It's just fighting machines that somebody programmed and turned on that are just fucking with us constantly. I'm not entirely sure that my machine at home doesn't have something on it because it uses a lot of internet.
What machine are you talking about?
My PC?
You can check.
Oh,
My blender, John.
Check what's in Task Manager now. They have network utilization. You can see
Yeah.
it's using a
I
lot
should
of
do that.
internet.
John, I love you. You're literally one of my favorite people that works at the company. I don't know why we get into it on
That's why.
camera. Probably so. Probably
you're
so.
so
I
close.
hate Gavin too.
is that why you? Do you love Chris that much? Is that why you?
Yeah. Fucking Chris from there.
You love
I
Chris.
used to like Chris until
Yeah.
this week.
Past Chris
You know
was
what
much
you should do?
better.
You should go read in the table
I-
read.
I'm
Run out of here, go over there, but read everything like for every single
My
line.
name's Chris. I'm stupid. I'm kind of mad at Josh Flanagan too.
Why?
Why would
I
he do?
think I blame him a little too.
I think you should always be
What
a little
for?
mad at Josh Flanagan.
Yeah.
Because he sent an update to the calendar invite as well.
What was the update?
I
Everyone should
remember.
come?
He sent it earlier today, and I was just mad I didn't read it.
Oh, it was just like a
You're literally mad
reminder
for no
about it
reason.
happening.
You're literally just mad at the guy because you saw his name and email.
Right, because he's talking about it.
Yeah. No,
I don't
no,
think that's
Gus,
reasonable.
Gus is valid.
Did you guys talk about the streamies before I got here?
No.
No. Why would we talk about streamies?
Oh, here it is.
Guys, somebody made your Tinder profile.
Oh.
Yeah. So, hey
Peter
guys,
Hayes did it, of course.
just want to remind everyone about our table
I
read
finally
in a
followed
few
Peter Hayes.
hours.
I don't know why I never followed.
Blah blah blah. These details, beer and pizza for you. Seriously, thanks for coming out. We're looking forward to your reactions and input. So he's involved as well.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Tinder charges different rates based on gender and age,
what?
according to Stefan.
What?
I'm guessing
I don't think
men
that's
pay
right.
more and older people pay more. I'm just guessing that because I fall in both those categories.
So you're saying that guys would pay more than a girl?
Yeah.
Because
On
they
Tinder?
think they could get more money out of a guy?
That's dating 101. If you go to a bar, there's ladies' night. There's no, hey, let's get a bunch of swinging dicks in here night. There's not, that doesn't exist.
There are some bars that have that.
Well, yeah. I mean, but
Single
they want-
straight dude night? That doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Oh, no, there's not.
Yeah, that does not happen.
There's not.
Yeah. That's we got that. That's what
See how much
that's what
you're
the bar is
paying
built
for
around.
Yeah.
shit.
There's one other thing I did want to mention before. We're not wrapping up yet. We're getting close to wrapping up.
You just want to make Barbara late for the table read.
Yeah,
I
you
wanted to
do.
mention that we do have some Halloween merch in the Rooster store.
We do.
They told me to say it's now available at the Booster Teeth store.
Boo.
Where's Edward? Is he here? It's terrible. There's, God, do I really have to read this?
Yeah.
Featuring terrifying T-shirts from Achievement Hunter, Funhouse, Couch Hop, and Ruby, plus spooky, silly pints emblazoned with the villainous Torchwick's jack-o'-lantern logo.
Any Rooster podcast shirts? in that little mix there?
Horrifyingly limited quantities are available, so grab the ghoulish new
Well,
Halloween
then why are
merch
we fucking
today.
reading it? I mean, why don't they read on one of those fucking
I
podcast
found-
shows?
they told me like 1 minute before we went live.
Yeah, that's why, because their fucking shirts aren't in there.
Where's my shit?
There's no Rooster podcast shirt, but be sure to read it.
Where's the Gus Tinder profile shirt? Because that's
Yeah.
fucking terrifying.
Yeah, I'm sure all those other fuckers will read the ad 3 times for you.
There you go.
Fuckers.
Booster Teeth Store.
Do you think
They
I
didn't even
should-
give me a URL.
Go listen to that little fucking cartoon logo. Fucking screaming about it.
Store.roosterteeth.com.
Loopy
Fuckers.
loopy. Do you think I should put the link to the fake Tinder movie trailer in my bio on Tinder?
Hey, you should put that in your Bumble one, because the people will think you're like the Bumble mascot.
Oh yeah.
Or isn't that you're the Bumble character?
Yeah, you're
there?
Bumble in
I'm
that.
Bumble in
Yeah.
that.
Do you have a Bumble account?
I do. I don't use it though.
So you don't prefer Bumble to Tinder?
Not yet. I
What's the
haven't-
difference?
Bumble, there's a few
Girl.
differences. The girl needs to make the first interaction,
Okay.
which is interesting. There's some people who claim there's better guys on Bumble,
So
but I don't know what the
I'm
fuck
not
Why,
on
that
Bumble.
why
means.
do you prefer Tinder then? Is that okay to ask?
I think it's because you know how to use it. It's
10,000
easy.
people?
It's probably sheer numbers.
I think it's just the numbers.
Yeah.
Like
There's that many more people?
I don't know.
I have no
Everyone's on
idea.
Tinder. Everyone's.
I
On
think
Tinder.
that's what it is.
I'm not on Tinder.
Everyone who's
Could
single
be.
is on Tinder.
I'd swipe right.
Or
How do y'all feel
hiding
about paying
something.
for merch? Yeah. Where'd that come from?
I'm not going to pay for a single
How did
ticket
you
merch
not know
ever.
about that?
I don't know. Do you think I pay attention to everything?
Yeah.
Like 10% of
It's a benefit. It's for your own good.
What's that?
It's a benefit. It's for your own good.
What, not listening?
No, paying for merch.
What is that?
Get 75% off.
Now listen, I get that when you work on a production, like if you work on a movie, say Pirates of the Caribbean, you're not going to get all the merch that's associated with Pirates of the Caribbean. That's not going to happen.
There's
You're
like a-
simplifying what they said today of the new process when, in fact, what they said today involved everyone getting the same amount of merch that they got prior.
I wasn't at the meeting.
Okay, so then you're
Me
you're
neither.
villainizing people.
What?
You're villainizing people that are trying to get a very bad process.
I'm
off
not
of-
villainizing people, John. Employees. That's who I'm villainizing. They lose their fucking humanity when they walk in the door. They're fodder for entertainment at that point. These fucking muckety mucks charging people for merch.
Maybe
What's
you should
next?
show up to the meeting.
Charge for the AC. You fucks.
But you split it. You're sharing it with everyone, so it's like nothing.
It's communal.
Don't you own this company?
No. Yeah, no. It's confusing to me too.
Yeah.
The thing though is they charge. We should explain. The employees now have to buy merch from the company.
There's a 75%, I think, employee discount.
A 75%. So we get like at cost.
Yeah, and everyone also has like a gift card that they could use towards that.
So let's call it. This was a perfectly fine system when it was before. Obviously, we can't scale. We can't give away 300 shirts every time we make a new shirt. Obviously, we can't do that. But that means somebody, John, you probably know because you work in that office. Somebody was going in and like going "Meh," and taking a bunch of shirts.
It wasn't even that. It was because there's been a limitation. To a certain extent, especially as we've grown as a company, there was like very little bit of a limitation when I first came here because the company's so small, so it wasn't that much of a loss if literally everybody in the office wanted a shirt, which that never occurred. But it's more so the process of ordering the shirts was not an automated process for employees. It was a manual process for someone in the e-commerce
I have
office.
a solution. Let's build a portal that allows this to happen.
Cool. I don't know why they didn't do that.
Or a 100% discount code. That's another thing. Just do that.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
I get it.
don't
I get it. What are you wearing, Barb?
She's getting ready to leave.
Just putting on a sweater.
Yeah.
She's
Some
getting
random
ready to go
sweater.
outside.
There you go. Got it.
Yeah, where'd you get?
Nailed
Just
it.
a random sweater.
That's a pretty rad sweater.
I'm gonna buy one of those for a discount.
Don't know where this is gonna be, but it's weird that we're talking about the RT store.
It is weird.
I'd pay 25%
And how I
list
talked
price
about
for that.
I
What's
talked.
that?
Hey,
I'd pay 25% list price
Listen,
for that.
that's a Rooster. It's a Barber shirt, so it's a Rooster podcast shirt. So let's
Is
advertise
it? Oh,
want-
I'd pay 100% list price for that then.
Oh, shut fuck off.
Can we make Burnie shirts? Can we make you a fashion line?
You turned in a piece of Burnie merch to me.
It's
and it
getting
was the
made.
Dumb. You're not making that fucking hat.
You didn't respond, so I got responses from everyone else, and everyone else was fine with it.
Are you shitting
Yeah.
me?
Hey, maybe I should respond to texts every once in a while.
Look, or maybe take my when you send me a design that goes to red and I don't say anything that you should know.
Cool. I'll just take silence.
Barbara, look, I'm gonna show you. Okay.
I'm kind of with
this is
John
gonna
on
be
this
this-
one, Bernie.
Yeah, I asked Barbara's opinion, and she liked it. I asked Ellie's
What
opinion,
do you
and she
like
liked
about
it.
that?
I didn't say that I liked it, but I also you need to respond.
No, Bernie claims he's the best at responding.
All right.
You're gonna
Like if someone sent me a piece of merchandise that would be in the Barbara Dunkelman line and I didn't like
I
it,
didn't want it. We don't have a Bernie Burns line. We don't have that.
okay, but it has your name on it.
I don't want it. We're not gonna sell them. I'll buy all of them. I can get 75% off. Fuck it. I'll sell them for a markdown.
So what's gonna happen is we're gonna come out with this hat. Bernie's gonna buy them all, so they're gonna be extremely limited.
So they design merch for Jeff and Barbara, and all this, as you know, Gus, all this effort goes
What do
into
you
it.
mean they?
There's all these fancy designs and everything, and they get all these approvals.
A
and
lot of
everything.
work goes into their lines.
A lot of work.
A lot of
A
work.
lot of work.
A lot.
A lot of research and
Yeah.
everything.
Multiple designers.
Gus, I was complaining about the fact that I was giving John a hard time about all the work that he does for Barbara and Gus or Barbara and Jeff, excuse me, for all their shirts that they make for them. And he goes, "Oh, look, but we made you a hat." Gus, that's the hat.
That's it?
That's the fucking hat. Who's gonna fucking buy that? Now,
I can tell you.
who?
I don't know if I can say it without ruining what you just showed me.
What do you mean?
I'll text you.
Okay.
Everyone who watches the podcast, perhaps.
I like
What
it.
is that?
It's a hat.
That makes zero sense. Barbara, if we made that hat for you, would you approve that?
Well, people would. No, I wouldn't. But people wouldn't.
There you go.
people
There
wouldn't
you go.
buy
Guess
it.
what? I don't want to.
How many of those hats
I
did
don't
you
want to
order?
sell it to you. I want to sell it to other people.
You're
gonna buy
here's
that
the thing.
hat?
You're a more iconic name that is associated with Rooster Teeth than Barbara.
You should make one for me then and sell them side by side against each other.
Can we?
You should-
People
you
are
should
gonna
have-
buy that hat, ironically, and it's gonna be like the new vaping. That's what I'm worried about, and it's gonna be this
Are
ironic
you saying
thing.
you're the new vaping?
No, by the way, everyone vapes ironically, right?
No.
I mean,
No, not the sugar. The sugar pine guys are gonna fucking
got-
kill themselves
I can't
with that
figure it out.
vaping.
It all seems ironic to me.
No.
all the vaping
Riot
stuff.
vapes.
For real.
Yeah, but more
Like she's
so
not doing it to be cheeky. Didn't
no.
start as cheeky and then she got addicted.
It calms her.
What's that?
It calms her. It's a coping mechanism.
But is it nicotine?
I don't know what she puts in hers,
Oh man.
but she vapes. She literally sent me a text message today, a picture of her vaping, and it really put a strain on our relationship.
Oh, why?
Because it's anytime that.
Well, no, she like.
Oh
the
yeah, she
follow
said, "Do you want to
it.
see my Sugar Pine 7 cosplay?" And I said, "Okay." And she just sent a picture of just this vape pine in front of her face,
Yeah,
and it really made me upset.
I got a story to tell in the post show.
I gotta
Sugar
go.
Pine
All
7.
right. Well, we're about.
Oh, you
time.
got to stick around for the Sugar Pine 7 story.
I
first.
can't.
We gotta
I
wrap.
go.
She's got to go. The thing. It's beer and mixing right now, and it starts at 7.
Sorry, buddy. See, he's holding you,
I was
Barbara.
invited to it
Gus,
way before you
Gus
invited me
never
on
let the
podcast.
Have
podcast
fun.
run long. He
I
never.
came for an hour.
I told you to have fun, Barbara. All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope Barbara has a great time not being here.
I love you.
I posted on Twitter. I
Except
saw
Gus.
you hold up the picture of the hat. I saw it. I wouldn't buy it.
Bye.
I love you.